What's going on, guys? My name is Jake Teasler. I'm a coach. I've ran a six-figure personal training business for the last 10 years. I have a YouTube channel, a Mustang Automotive YouTube channel. I've done competitive bodybuilding, powerlifting. I got a degree in biology and chemistry. I'm really into I'm into finance and investing and early retirement, kind of semi-retired right now. So I was in LA the last 10 years. I helped a lot of people get into shape, CEOs, Andre from Outkast, if you know him, if you know the hip hop group Outkast, I trained him when I was out there. Royal family members, I trained all sorts of different types of people out there, and I've learned a lot of things, and I'm trying to share it and give back to you guys. And I want to coach young men or men, women even, for life coaching, but it seems like I resonate with young men mostly. So in today's video, I just recently had a coaching call with a young man, and he was in a life, he was at a point in his life where he was having to make decisions, and he was not happy where his situation was going. But in today's video, I'm just going to tell you about growth mindset. If you don't know what that is, it's either you can't learn, you have a fixed mindset, or you have a growth mindset. One is basically saying, like, these people are smart, and I'm not that, and I can't do any of these things that these people can do. These people can be smart. This is proper. Some people are smarter than others, absolutely. But does that mean they're going to have more up? Absolutely. They're going to have different things going for them, correct? Does that mean that the less smart person cannot completely learn 10 times more than someone who's smart and does not have ambition? The main thing, you can use Michael Jordan as an example. He just worked harder than everyone. He decided he was so competitive. He wanted to work so crazy hard. He wanted to work. Was there not more people talented? I think he said Shaq was way more talented than Michael. Shaq just didn't even practice as much. I mean, Jordan put in so many hours practice. There's a lot of people more talented than Jordan, but he had this growth mindset. He had this crazy growth mindset. So, and I wanted today's video is just to show you that you can actually change the direction that you're going and learn new things within 30 days and change your path. You can learn new things in 30 to 60 days and start a YouTube channel and start an online business and do this. It's all out there. But in today's video, that's what I want to talk about, and let's get into it. So do you think Michael Jordan had a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? I think Michael Jordan, I don't know if you ever watched the documentary on him, he definitely had a growth mindset. If he did not have a growth mindset, he would not be out there practicing harder he wouldn't even be practicing. He'd be like, hey, I'm naturally talented. I don't really need to practice. So this would be someone who was almost as good as Michael Jordan, but didn't have to practice, didn't have the same work ethic. They would not have a growth mindset. They would just be talented and decided that they didn't have to practice that much. They were just naturally talented. But Michael Jordan was actually the best because he actually put in all the extra effort, more than anyone else did, on top of being naturally gifted. That's why he was the best. He wasn't the best just because, he was naturally gifted. That's false. Did you watch the documentary? I watched the documentary. It looked like he was just crazy competitive, like extremely competitive, and he just wanted to be the best. And he wanted to be better than everybody else, so he became the best. So that's called a growth mindset. So if there's anything that excites me, there's a book called, I don't know the name of the book, Carol Dweck, Caroldweck, I believe is that how you spell her name. And I don't know if the book's called Growth Mindset, but just look her up. Just type in Growth Mindset, Carol Dweck, and I'll put the link in the description below. She essentially, now this is important because this is like the number one thing that will help you be successful, or not even be successful. It helps me just give me a path through life. Because if you don't think that you can actually learn new skills and abilities and get where you need and develop skills to do new things, for example, I started a six-figure training business in LA because someone told me, did you know an older gentleman who was a model? He said, and he did physical therapy on the side with like no license or anything. He just contacted old people, and he knew how to do rehab on people's legs and stuff. And he was just like an older guy who just knew how to kind of help people stand up and sit down and move their legs, and was kind of a friendly guy, and old people liked him. So he charged them like $125 an hour to go hang out with him and move their legs around. And he called himself a physical therapist, basically. And that guy told me, you can make six figures as a trainer in this town. And this was like 2010. So this ice maker's loud. So I told him, so that was implanted in my head. That was like one of the biggest things that was implanted in my head. He just implied that there was value in making money, which no one had ever told me that. They told me money was evil. And then they also it was just implied in the conversation that money's valuable and you can get it. And I said, okay. And I booked a client for $100 an hour. It was really scary to ask for $100 an hour, but I did. And I said, well, if I can do one, I can do 10, right? And then I started becoming successful as a personal trainer. This is also another thing that happened to me. I was sitting at home, and I was like 25, 26, and I was lifting like a bodybuilder, but I didn't look like a bodybuilder. And I was like, I want to be a bodybuilder. I was on bodybuilding.com forums. I don't know if any of you guys remember bodybuilding.com forums, but that's your OG if you do. And I told myself, what's the difference between me and a bodybuilder? And I said, well, it's the diet. So if I just do the diet and I do a competition, then I'll be a bodybuilder. How do you become a bodybuilder? You just do the diet and you sign up for a competition. So I looked for competitions. I signed up for a competition and I did the XYZ 1, 2, 3 ABC diet. You just find a bodybuilding diet online and you just follow the diet. And I wrote down my food every single day for like 6 months. And I did a bodybuilding competition. And there's the trophy. The one flexing next to the gold one. The other one's a strongman, where I did a strongman. I wanted to do a powerlifting competition in California when I was there, and I found one that had goals that I could attain. And there's a guy, and the squat record was only like 5 something. I could do that. The deadlift record wasn't. The bench wasn't very high either. I smoked the bench record, so I think I got. Actually, his bench was good. His squat was not that good, and his deadlift wasn't that good. My deadlift wasn't good either. I ended up pulling like 560 at 220 body weight, and I was even doing a vegan diet for like the last month right before the competition. I did a whole food plant-based nutrition certification, and I decided to go vegan right before the competition, which was silly, but I did it anyways. People do really weird things right before competition. They'll start changing their diet around and acting all sorts of weird to get this extra edge. It's just weird. So I went and got 2 California state record powerlifting records. I got 2 state records out there, which was really cool. So they got broken like real fast because it wasn't super competitive and it was a small league. But nonetheless, I went and did it. The point is, you can choose. The whole point of a growth mindset, there's fixed mindset and growth mindset. Fixed is like, I have these, I have what I have, and you can't really outdo that. And if you're smart people are smart and dumb people are dumb. And the smart people go over here and do these things, then dumb people go over here and do these things. And that's it. Cut and dry, very simple. I'm 5'11", 6 foot. Right now I'm 230 pounds. My body fat's kind of high, and I'm 38. You can look at all these. I'm white. I live in this part of the world, and this thing, and and I look like this. And some of that matters, but it matters about that much as far as on a scale of like this much, right? It matters about a hair compared to someone who came in and worked hard to gather up all their abilities and focused all their mental capacities on something for like 5 years, 10 years. They would smoke me in anything that they wanted to do. And especially a personal training career. Like, I got started late. I didn't know what I was doing. So what I'm saying is, a growth mindset is the ability and the belief system. It's just a belief system that you can learn new skills. If you want to learn how to play racquetball, you can learn how to play racquetball in like an hour. Did you realize that? You watch a YouTube video and you go to the YMCA and start playing. Did you know you can learn how to play cards like poker? You can just get on. Now you can just get on the computer and learn how to play cards on YouTube. It's free, right? YouTube's free if you have an internet connection. Most people in America have access to someone or the public library where there's the internet, right? And you can watch videos on anything, financial independence. You can learn how to get rich and invest your money and be retired by 30, right? Which I could have done. I didn't even start till I was 30 making and investing. I could have done that 15 years earlier and been retired at 30 instead of, thinking about it at 40 years old or 45, right? In a couple years, right? You have access to the public library, which you have access to internet. I'm trying to make no excuses for anybody here. I'm trying to let you know that the biggest thing is you're just not making a decision on anything. If you don't make a decision, then you can't differentiate and decide if you made a good decision or not. So you can just follow the tried and true path, which is pretty smart, just to go to school and just to do the thing that everyone else has done. And that'll work. There's nothing wrong with that, and that'll work. As long as you realize, though, that you can learn how to ride a skateboard in like an hour or two. You can learn how to speak a language in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, total immersion. This is what the 4-hour work week guy talks about. Totally immersing yourself in a skill and learning it completely in like 30 to 60 days. I built a YouTube channel. So I don't talk about my stuff a lot, but as I'm sitting here talking for this to help encourage other young men, it's like I was in LA and I was working and I was halfway, I was making money, I was investing money, I was thinking about early retirement, but I was also bored because I was so just doing this one thing. So I decided to grab a microphone and do a voiceover and start a YouTube channel. And I started a YouTube channel and now it has like 11,000 subscribers. It's got like 4 million views, over 4 million views, and it makes me a few $100 a month, okay? So do you think that was a skill that I learned on my own? 100%. And there's a lot of people say, well, I could never do that. Well, then you can't. It's your belief. If you don't believe that, then are you going to take the step to try something out? If you don't believe, so I didn't know, there's no risk. You need to try a lot of things that have low risk and high reward. There's no risk of putting yourself on the internet, trying to make a crappy video, and then seeing if it works or not. There's no risk to that. You need to be doing a lot of things like that. What's the risk? What's the downside of getting a gym membership and going to nothing? I've got another client who got a 6-pack, and he never thought that he could get a 6. So he hired a trainer, and then I said, what do you want to do? He said, I want to get in shape. I want to get a 6-pack. So I taught him how to get a 6-pack. And it changed the way he believed. He said, I just thought I was a desk person. He was a smart guy too. He went to a coding course and he was making like 6 figures as a coder. And before that, he was a lawyer. So he said, screw law. I hate law. Let me just take this boot camp and learn how to code. And then he was like working as a coder already like that. So this is the growth mindset. It was the belief that you can just pick something, anything, and work at it for like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and you'll just learn the skill. And you just try it. Jordan Peterson, I have books of his too, and it's just like anytime you have a goal, the goal is over here, but what happens is you start here and you make a step forward. Every step you get to go, was that good or bad? And then you move forward, and it's a self-correcting process as you're making steps to get there. But you have to have the goal first, and then you have to take the first step. You have to have the goal, then you have to make an action. And then you just repeat this, and it's just all over the place, and then it gets there. But you're collecting data. But first you have to have the belief system that you actually do and can grow. That you can learn a skill, you can learn how to bake a cake real fast. How many of you guys know how to bake? How many of you guys know how to make food? You can learn that in like 5 minutes on YouTube. You probably just don't because your parents have cooked you food, and there's Uber Eats, and the parents are paying for your food, right? And they're doing all these things. I was cooking, I learned how to cook when I was 12 because my parents had split, and my mom was at work probably, and I had skipped school, and she didn't cook a ton. So you just learn how to cook from my grandmother. I learned how to cook from her. I called her, how do you make that gravy? It's like, okay, milk and flour and salt and pepper, and you put it on the pan. I was learning that at like 12 years old, 13, right? That's why I'm probably so fat as a kid, making homemade gravy. So anyways, growth mindset is just so, so I can't tell you what to do. I can just look at my life and say, look, I've been able to be completely out of the matrix, into my own world, into my own lifestyle. I don't have another boss. I just have private clients, which they are like miniature employers, but I can tell them no when I want to. But essentially I've created my own lifestyle. It hasn't been easy, but I can teach you how to make it a lot easier and do it a lot faster than when I did it. But you're still gonna have a lot of growing to do. But the growth mindset helped me build a training business, learn about early retirement, basically partially early retire, start a YouTube channel, do bodybuilding, do powerlifting, and you're learning all these things as you're trying them out. And I just wanted to share with you what I think is the most important thing is that so many people are discouraged. They just don't teach you that if you put in effort on a certain thing, first of all, they don't even teach you that you can growth. If you're a fixed mindset person, you don't even know that you can just, here's the easiest way. No one implied it to me that it wasn't in the culture when I was growing up, or it wasn't in the family system growing up, that you can choose something on your own will. And what is there to choose from? No one's telling me that. And that you can actually learn things, basically. Like my uncle finally came in when I was like 19 and said, hey, you should probably, I was like, well, what's college about? What do you mean? And I did get a biology degree with a chemistry minor, okay? And I tried to go to PA school. I didn't get in. My GPA was like a 3.0. It needs to be way more competitive. Then I did EMT out there at UCLA, EMT training, passed that, tried to get into medical school. So I've done a lot of things, but like not a lot compared to some people. Like I'm just a baby compared to really advanced, people. But what I'm trying to share my story with you guys so you can understand that I did not have a growth mindset in the beginning, and it's not something that you're born into. It's in your culture. A lot of people are culturally born not into a growth mindset. They just say, hey, that's a tall person, they're going to be a basketball player. And that there is a limit on things, but there isn't a limit. Can a tall person take a cooking class? Yes. Can a tall person learn mathematics on Khan Academy on YouTube? Yes. Can a tall person learn marketing on a YouTube channel and learn how to do marketing from me? Just look at how my marketing reeled you into whatever I'm doing, and did that work? Yes. It did if you clicked on it, right? Okay. So reverse that. How did that work? How did that teach you what your brain likes? So you have to understand that you're kind of caught in your cultural and familial and tendencies, but you can learn new things. And I'm not getting it out properly as I'm doing this video. I'm not doing it justice. But the thing that I'm doing right now is making this video because I know I can reach people. So this would be my growth mindset. I can make a video, I can invite them for coaching calls, and I can help coach people with my personal experiences. And that's something that I know. If you think I won't get coaching clients, because I just started this YouTube channel, you don't think I'm going to get coaching clients if I make 100 videos with good thumbnails, good titles, good marketing, and I make 100 videos? You don't think it won't reach 10,000 people, maybe even 100,000 people, 100,000 views? And you don't think with a 1% success rate or a 0.5% success rate, you don't think I won't book 50 calls, 100 calls, 500 calls? It'll happen. But I'm telling you, that's how you build your own thing. So if I can help you, and this is how I've done my whole training business, my personal training business. So I'm not just a guy marketing. I did this with personal training. This is how I did my whole personal training business in Los Angeles for the last 10 years. So I'm just trying to encourage you guys to help you understand, to get out of that fixed mindset, get into a growth mindset, and You can just choose what you want to learn. That's what I'm trying to say. You can just choose. I can just read one of these books behind me that have so much information and knowledge that opens up my brain. And then I can apply that to my life, and that opens up. But you can just choose. That's what it's all about. There's a life design book behind me that I love, that helped me, that helps me on my day-to-day. That's another thing I can recommend for you. Life design book's so good. If you could wave a wand and you could have any outcome, what would it be? Let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna drop my Instagram handle in the comment section, and you can reach out directly to my Jake Teasler coaching page on Instagram and follow me there for fitness and motivational things, and send me a message on there if you're interested in getting coaching. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. You can learn new skills. If you put an hour a day for 30 days, you spent 30 hours learning something. You can learn how to code. You can learn how to cook. You can learn how to get a six-pack. You can learn how to start a training business online. Anything. You can learn anything, guys. We have the internet. So let's go. Message me below. All right? Catch you in the next video.